Hey, welcome to this edition of Discover Rocky Mount. I'm your host, Grant Robertson. This show is all about safety, and someone that knows a lot about that is Victor with the city, our safety officer. Hey, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So with your role, tell me kind of what does a safety officer do?
It's a lot of things. One, I'm responsible for safety training, safety orientation, safety inspections, safety program and policy development. I also am the chairperson of the Vehicle Accident Review Board, the city's safety committee. I'm the designated employer representative for drug and alcohol testing for the city. I'm also the administrator of the Safety Center, the DOT Clearinghouse, and I also present safety. I have presented safety at the National Safety Conference Council, Public Risk Management Association, Eastern North Carolina Safety and Health Council, and the Western North Carolina Safety Conference. And you're probably asking yourself, Grant, Victor, that sounds like a lot. When do you sleep? And I'll tell you, between 10 and 6.
Nice. Well, you're still getting some good solid rest all in there, which is helpful with staying safe because not enough rest can cause problems. With that, a lot of folks work around machines. How do you stay safe around machinery?
Okay, number one, when you get the piece of machinery, pay attention to the operator's manual. Inside that operator's manual will be a lot of great tips and tricks and guidelines as to how to safely operate that piece of machinery, how to troubleshoot it, and how to be safe when you're using this piece of equipment. In the event that piece of equipment breaks, there will also be a 1-800 number that you can call to find out what you need to do to get it repaired. Also pay attention to, and when we get new pieces of equipment, as most of us do, we get the piece of equipment, take the manual, throw it away. Please save that operator's manual. In the event you have to work on this machinery, and it's a machinery that works for the city, please use lockout tagout procedures to de-energize and work safely.
Yeah, and the lockout tagout, just a brief thing on that. What does that really mean? Anybody hears that?
It means you take as much of the energy that's in that system and release it so it's safe for employees to operate and do maintenance and troubleshoot and repair place.
And it literally is a visible, recognizable safety measure, right?
Yes, it is.
There's tags, there's lockout procedures, and it's not just tons of stuff like that. Can you give any advice on just avoiding just common injuries in the workplace or even at home?
Number one, use your senses. Use your eyes, use your ears, use your nose. What do you see? What don't you see? What do you hear? What don't you hear? What do you smell? What don't you smell? And just be cognizant of your surroundings.
So with that, can you name a typical kind of safety items that typically found in businesses or workplaces that you would recommend that people have at home? Some safety items, or
I can name several.
Sure.
Number one, first aid kit. We have first aid kits at work. You should also maintain those at home as well, especially if you have children or grandchildren. Make sure they're well stocked with wound care items and also all the other stuff that comes with it. Inspect your first aid kit to ensure that all your perishable items are still good. Perishable items that are in liquid or gel format, such as alcohol, hydrogen peroxide, ointments, gels, all those things usually have an expiration date. Once they expire, dispose of them and replace them, and go through a first aid class. There's more.
Okay.
Fire extinguisher. We have fire extinguishers at work. I would recommend a good 15-pounder for your home. Keep it away from flammable and combustible items. Make sure you check that once a month. Make sure it's still charged. It's serviceable. Ladders. We have ladders at work. You should also have a ladder at home that is rated to the weight of the heaviest person in your household plus their tools. Inspect it prior to use. If it's bad, don't try to repair it. Just get rid of it, go and replace it. Other items I would also recommend would be, I guess that's it for now.
Yeah.
I had a whole list, but.
No, that's good. The one thing I added to it now at my own home is a fire blanket, because that seems to be less about the fumbling of the fire extinguisher, and especially on a gas stove.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's a helpful tool, I assume.
Yep.
One other piece of the puzzle is emergency preparedness.
Yes.
What should people know about that process?
One, you should develop a plan for the common things that may occur in your neighborhood or in your household. Fire, severe weather events such as a hurricane, a tornado, or shots fired. Develop a plan, discuss the plan with your family, and then rehearse the plan. No one likes rehearsing the plan. You know, hey, that's a good plan until you have to actually do it and no one knows what they're supposed to do and how to react and where to go. So make sure you come up with a plan that works for everyone in the household, and rehearse it and make sure it's a good plan.
And not to throw you on the spot, can you talk briefly just about when power goes out during these situations and someone may have a generator at home, the old traditional put in place? Can you talk about the safety, couple of items with that, meaning carbon issues if you don't want them in the home?
Don't want them in the home. Make sure you maintain that generator as well. Just because you used it last time doesn't mean it's going to work for you the next time. So make sure it's full of fuel, that it's serviceable, inspected prior to use, and perform maintenance on it, and use original equipment manufactured parts.
And the one thing to think about is when you're cranking them up, should you have everything plugged into them before you crank it up?
No.
And why is that?
Because you don't know what the power surge is going to do to that generator. Also, make sure that you read the operator's manual before starting that generator up.
Yeah, good points to point out. One other one, there's three things that really are the most common, I think, which is slips, trips, and falls. And how can these be avoided?
Okay, we can categorize one cure for that whole thing: housekeeping. If there's trash on the floor, pick it up. Don't step over it. Don't kick it to the wall. Please pick it up. If you see a wet floor, change the way that you walk. Heel toe is not your friend. Should be sole to sole to sole to sole. And use your senses, as I mentioned earlier. What do you see? What don't you see? What do you hear? What don't you hear? Just to be aware of your surroundings.
And one community that we really want to be cognizant of and give some advice is our seniors. Okay. How can they be safer, avoid injuries? What do you suggest?
The buddy system, both inside the community that they live in and the family, should be either telephonically doing wellness checks or in-person visits to do wellness checks. And when you visit these people in person, just take a quick look around and see what their living conditions are like. What you're mainly looking for is slip, trip, and fall hazards, because as we age, we become tipping hazards. Difference is when you fall when you're 20, everyone laughs, you get back up, everything's good to go. When you fall in your 60s, people gather around you and ask you, are you okay? So make sure that their home is as free of slip, trip, and fall hazards as possible. Also, check their durable medical equipment, such as their walkers, their canes, their wheelchairs. Once upon a time, I visited my mother, and she had a wheelchair, and the wheelchair was canted like so. One tire up, one tire down. It's like, Mom, how long has that been? Oh, no. Oh, well, don't you think you ought to get it fixed? Well, I'm fine. No, you're not fine. Who'd you get it from? Oh, so-and-so. Where's the number? Over there. And I called, hey, my mom needs a new wheelchair. Okay, we'll be there next day. And they did.
Right, gotcha. Just the old maintenance that helps prevent a lot of injuries. As we enter into the various seasons, specifically one that we think about is weather-related, is the summer, the heat of the summer. How can you avoid heat-related illnesses?
One, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Two, training. There's training available on the Elevate You platform, 3 different sessions on how to recognize heat stress illness, what you can do to prevent it, and how to keep employees safe. There are apps that you can download on your phone that identify what the weather is, what the heat index is, and how we can keep employees safe. Use the hierarchy controls. So administrative controls, when's the hottest part of the day, Grant? Midday. So if we can avoid working during that part of the day and do work around those times of days, that's great. In the event that doesn't work, let's do a work rotation. So instead of the whole crew being involved in the work during the heat, how about we split them up into pairs? So this crew 1, works for 40 minutes, 20-minute break. Crew 2, while they're taking a break, they start work, and so on. So we don't overexpose the entire crew. Of course, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. And we're going to do a visual aid. Also, PPE in the form of this cooling towel, as well as water, as well as light colored clothing, and just going through the training is the key thing.
Yeah, and that really, what we do at the city is oftentimes bring those crews that would be more exposed to those hot temperatures, bring them earlier, and that could be the same thing we do at home.
Yes.
Do that outside gardening, do whatever in the early part of the day.
Yes.
And really use the rest of it to recover and get out of the heat.
Yes.
Well, Victor, you've given us with the city a lot of reminders. Also, the folks at home listening, reminders about just kind of being cognizant of those everyday trips and falls and other things that we can help prevent. So thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Discover Rocky Mount, and we hope to see you again here soon.